Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys find this show in good spirits, as it should. I'm hoping this means we get closer. I'm hoping we're getting some new news, some really, really great news as far as this case goes, getting some progress in this case and in this particular, in this case and in the area in Maryland. I'm going to be honest. This case was a wild one, and we are still trying to figure out what's going on with this whole thing. But we got some updates before this press conference, which I'm still trying to see where they're going to be popping up this update, this press conference, because I don't know where it's going to be still right now as we speak. But I did want to do a tiny bit of a recap, go through some of the things, because we covered this case a while back. I repeat, we covered this case a while back, but there hasn't been any updates until today. Yes, until this morning. This is some big, big news. Do they have the monster? Do they have a suspect arrested, connected to the unaliving of this 37-year-old mother of five, Rachel Morin? We're going to find out, hopefully very, very soon. In fact, looks like a little bird already's been out here spreading seeds, spreading the news about the information. So we're going to talk about that before we even see a press conference. So do me a favor. If you appreciate what I'm doing here, okay, we cover a lot of cases on this show. Not only do we cover true crime, but we also cover things in the pop culture world and everything in between. So please, if you appreciate the way I deliver the stories to you guys and all that, do me the solid, okay? It's a simple ask. Hit that like button down below, please and thank you. All right, this is a case we have been covering. It's just been almost a year since we've heard any new updates revolving around this case. So this is big, big news. And man, I need to say this too. This monster, he got around. Man, this dude was kicking rocks. I just need to say that out loud. Damn. But anyway, hit that like button down below. Crush it. Make it scream out your doggone name. Please be sure to hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms as well. That'd be greatly appreciated, okay? Share if you're watching on X and all that. Share the love. It's nothing but positivity and goodness over here, all right? We ignore all the negative BS, right? So share the love, share some positivity. Do me a favor as well. If you haven't done it yet, please crush that follow button if you're watching on Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of those. Follow me on my social medias. That'd be greatly appreciated. Of course, if you haven't done this yet, crush that subscribe button, please and thank you. Of course, if you want to support the channel, hit that join button down below. Become a member of the family if you're watching on YouTube. And also, we are conducting really great conversations with members in the Patreon. So go check out patreon.com/the Pascal Show. It is in the ticker right down there, going that way as we speak. Okay, go check it out if you can. That would be greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Okay, guys, we got to get into this because we got many miles to go before we get this press conference. And a lot has been going on, and there's some new updates. We got an article. We got some paperwork we're going to be looking at as well, or a little screenshot of some paperwork. And we got some updates revolving around this particular case. All right. 37-year-old Rachel Morin was savagely unalived. See, even my dogs are upset about this case. Was savagely unalived when she went for a run in a park in Maryland. Now, the whole world has been touched by this case. This is a mother of five. She went tanning that day. She went for her run. And then all of a sudden, tragedy. She meets face to face with a monster. Now, they have put out a sketch. They at least did put out a sketch. Now I think that, we're about to hear some good news, okay? Positive information revolving towards getting closer to justice, right? For Rachel. But they put out this sketch of a man that allegedly had been doing some very bad things on the West Coast before he was all the way in Maryland. Like I said, it's pretty crazy. And of course, we all been wanting to know, who the heck is this dude? Who is this person? It's just a sketch, right? There is a video we're going to look at here, of course, where they show ring cam footage of this man allegedly leaving the scene of a crime in California. And then he just disappears. And then later on, reappears doing this unthinkable act to Rachel Morin. Well, guys, we got some new updates. Of course, we're going to take a little bit of a trip down memory lane with everything. But of course, we are always here for justice and justice for Rachel all day long. And I hope that the person that they have is the only person that was involved in this unbelievable crime and this unbelievable tragedy. Because now you got 5 kids that don't have their mama. It's pretty crazy. But real quick, before we go into this, I do want to share with you guys that this is what I saw. And a lot of you guys were sending me on X as well, which I do appreciate that. Shout out to my people on X/Twitter fam. Shout out to y'all. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for giving me the heads up, because y'all were like, yo. And I'm like, okay, let me see what's going on. And then I saw that Laura Ingle also posted this saying, for immediate release, sheriff to, let me share this so you guys can see this in the nosebleed seats. Sheriff to hold press conference announcement. Important update in Rachel Morin murder case. Bel Air, Maryland. Today. Okay. Right? Yeah, today. I'm losing track of days, guys. Those documents, the Madeline Soto documents just completely took me into a deep, dark vortex hole. Okay. And I'm now just finally getting out for air. But Patty Morin, the mother of Rachel Morin, will attend a press conference scheduled for 2 p.m., which will be 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So a little over 20 minutes from now. Okay. At the Hartford County Sheriff's Office. The sheriff's office is located at 45 South Main Street, blah, blah, blah. At the press conference, this Sheriff Galler will be releasing significant information regarding the unaliving of Rachel Morin, which took place at the Ma and Pa Trail in August of last year. Okay, this development marks a crucial step forward in the ongoing investigation and efforts to bring justice to Rachel. Okay, so her mother, they're repeating again, Rachel's mother will be present at the press conference and is expected to make a statement in response to the new information shared by the sheriff's department. Now, when you hear this, what do you think does that mean? What do you think that means, y'all? I'll tell you what, it means they got something. And I think that they got someone. In fact, we got more information here that I'm going to share with you guys right now, which I think explains a lot. Okay? Which is wild. And we do have his name, everybody. We do have his name as well. Someone has been arrested for sure. Yes. Yes, indeed. You can see it right here. Man arrested in Oklahoma, by the way. In Oklahoma, in the slaying of Rachel Morin. Let's take a look at this article real quick, okay? And I feel like they're going to give us all, this is all spoiler alert, okay? This is like spoiler warning. This is all the information that they're about to drop. I feel like we about to hear the same doggone thing in this press conference, but that's fine. We'll hear it twice. Twice is nice, right? His name right here, Victor Martinez Hernandez, was arrested in Tulsa last night. So authorities have made an arrest in the unaliving of Rachel Morin, the Hartford County mother of 5, whose body was found near a popular hiking trail in August, according to her family. Victor Martinez Hernandez is his name. He was arrested in Tulsa. Like I said, this man was kicking rocks, y'all. One moment he's in California, the next minute he's in Maryland. Now he's in Oklahoma. Like, wow, y'all. He was arrested in Tulsa late Friday night and booked into the jail early Saturday morning, according to family and court records. He was charged with first-degree M and first-degree R, according to Morin's family. The Hartford County Sheriff's Office would not confirm the arrest, but announced the sheriff would provide a media update on Rachel Morin's homicide investigation today. Now, one thing I'm wondering is why wouldn't they just say, like, yeah, they got him, but I don't think they want to do that. I think they honestly want to come up and say, like, you know, look, we got the big fish. You know what I'm saying? Like, look what we done did. We got a fish this big. That's what I feel like it is. Like, he wants to give shout outs to give credit where credit is due. You feel me? But also be the cat that got the cream and he can't stop licking himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might just be like, yo, we need to get this credit a little bit and explain how everything got done. So I don't want to confirm right now, but when we do this press conference, we will confirm. If that makes any sense, right? Interesting though, right? Morin, 37, just a little bit of a background of her story. She was 37 years old. She went on a run along the Ma and Pa Trail in Bel Air around 6 p.m. on August 5th and never returned. Remember, we talked about this almost a damn year ago, y'all. This is well over 10 months ago that we talked about this, right? And now they have the guy. And don't worry, we're going to look at the ring camera footage and all that crap too. But they now finally have the suspect. Okay? And I guarantee you, if he's unalived in Maryland, he is unalived elsewhere. And there are probably other victims out here that we don't even know that are out here. That's a good question, S-Dubs. That's a great question. Does the ultimate price, you know what I mean? The penalty, the ultimate penalty, all right, apply in the state in the state crime occurred, or the state where he was found? I think it's where the crime occurred, right? And if the crime was done in Maryland, so I'm thinking Maryland is where he's going to be facing, the possibilities of whatever life to, I don't know what the state of Maryland, does. I don't know if they lean on the DP or no, but I think where the crime was committed, the state within the crime that was committed is that's where he's going to be punished at, if that makes any sense. All right. So let's continue on though. All right. Volunteers combing the woods find her body in a drainage culvert near the trail the following day. The unaliving of Morin, who owned a cleaning business and was a fitness enthusiast, galvanized sleepy Hartford County, where violent crime is rare. A few weeks later, the sheriff's office announced that DNA was found on her body that was linked to a suspect in a March 2023 home invasion in Los Angeles. Few details have been released on that incident, but investigators said they found matching DNA on a water bottle and ball cap left at the home, which is huge, right? So she lost her life months later, right? Let's see, April, May, June, July, and then August. So about 5 months later, depending on where the crime that happened in Los Angeles in March lands, whatever date it lands on in March, 5 months later, he's out somehow, finds his way out to Maryland, finds his way at Ma and Pa Trail, and then attacks this mother of five while she's on a run. Pretty wild stuff, right? Pretty wild stuff. So, before we continue on, let me share with you guys this. Wow. Let's take a look a little bit on the information that they have put out. His mugshot ain't even up there yet, but his name is Victor Martinez Hernandez. Okay, male. They say race is white. That's interesting, but okay. 5'8", 160 pounds. Some booking information. Booked late last night or very early this morning, however you look at it. Offenses, description, fugitive from justice. Let's see. I don't know, hold Maryland and then hold ICE. So this to me sounds like he could be in illegal. Possibly. If that's ICE. If ICE means what I think ICE means, right? Could he be, could he have hopped the border? Yeah. Hold ICE, hold. He is illegal. Yes. Thank you, Nina. I appreciate that. Oh, you could be a white Hispanic. That's true too. That's a good point. And also, you got to remember. Let's not forget this photo here. This photo. I mean, shoot, look at that dude. I mean, it's just or not a photo. This drawing. I'm sorry. This drawing. Look at the drawing. I mean, that could be. Yeah. I mean, shoot, that could be anything, y'all. That could literally be anything, right? That could literally be like he could literally be his Hispanic, like of brown complexion, or he could be more Caucasian. You never know, but that's very interesting nonetheless. All right. Now the thing is of course I am still waiting on the press conferences to happen, right? But we are still waiting on that. And of course, it doesn't happen for another 14 minutes, but at the same time, or they're scheduled to be on in the next 14 minutes. But of course, still, no matter what, this is very, very shocking and very interesting stuff. I mean, this is, as tragic as it is great news, because if this is the guy and if he is the one who did this to Rachel Morin, then you got a monster off the streets. You got a person that's been out here running amok, kicking rocks, breathing in this freedom air, I'm sure causing more crimes and causing more tragedies for a lot of loved ones out here for the last almost 11 months. Think about that for a second. So if this supposed monster is really the one who did this, then you got a monster off the streets, which is obviously fantastic news, right? Let's continue on though. A home security video showed a Latino man exiting the home. He appeared to be in his 20s, around 5'9", 160 pounds, which we found out he's 5'8". Don't know his age, but we'll find out soon. Oklahoma court records list Martinez Hernandez as 5'8", right? And 160 pounds. So, of course, more information will be dropping, I'm sure, here very, very soon. Now, let me share with you guys. This is a clip sharing or showing. This is from like 9 months ago, but this is a clip showing a little bit of the ring camera footage. Okay, because I have it, but I couldn't find it. I have it, and I know I posted it on my X a long time ago. But I figured let's throw up some News Nation and hear from Ashley Banfield on this a little bit.
Sheriff Gaylor says, he will kill again. He will kill again if we don't catch him, and he could end up becoming a serial killer.
He might already be an SKer. Let's just put that in our bee in our bonnet for a second. You know what I mean?
This is what Sheriff Gaylor added. I have no doubt in my mind if he's not apprehended, he will become a serial killer because he will do this again. This being the murder of Rachel Morin. You know, they released video on August 17th of the person they believe killed Rachel. And they know that because the DNA at Rachel's murder scene matches the DNA at a home invasion in Los Angeles. And this was the home invasion. This is him leaving. Take a good look. I can't show this enough. Take a good look at the way he walks, the gait, the shape of his jeans, the shape of his feet, the shape of his shoulders, the haircut that he had on August 17th.
What's really frustrating about this is that this footage is, I mean, meh. It's kind of terrible. Okay? It's kind of terrible. You're not seeing much. Okay, I'm just going to roll that back a little bit. I'm sure she plays it a billion times in this video, but just showing you guys one more again. I mean, you know, this could be any brown-skinned brother out here, okay, of that stature. You see what I'm saying?
Leaving. Take a good look. I can't show this enough. Take a good look at the way he walks, the gait, the shape of his jeans, the shape of his feet, the shape of his shoulders, the haircut that he had on August 17th.
Now, let me make this abundantly clear. GB just said, was this from Rachel's home? No. This is out in California. So remember, we just said that they found DNA in a hat. They've got DNA from a water bottle and DNA from a hat that was left behind at a residence. They don't get into detail of what really happened in that home. Allegedly, he did something very illegal, allegedly, to a person in that house, if you catch my drift. But they haven't really confirmed a whole lot of that, okay? But what was left in that house, because clearly he committed a crime in that house for them to gather this water bottle and this hat. They were able to get DNA from the water bottle, DNA from the hat, and link this to this man, right? Or link it to, Rachel Morin's, the DNA that they got from Rachel Morin's body, okay? And then, of course, they did a press conference a while back, like 9+ months ago, and said, here is the culprit that we're looking for. Here's the piece of trash that we are currently looking for right now as we speak. This is who he is, blah, blah, blah. Here's the ring camera from the place in California from the last crime that he committed in March of 2023, about 5 months before he ran into Rachel Morin. We have to say allegedly right now. But his DNA was on her body, was found on her body. So, you know, boom goes the dynamite. He is the killer, right? But because it's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law and all that crap, yeah. But they gave us, this is the only footage that they have of this guy, okay? And this guy clearly knew what he was doing too when he backed out of this house, because you don't see his face at all. Take a look.
That's the guy. That's the killer right there. Still trying to find him, though. We don't know who he is. 5'9", 230 pounds, 20 to 30 pounds, likely Hispanic. That is all we know so far. Could be local to California, could be local to Maryland, may have committed crimes in other states. Investigators from Maryland have gone to California and are sharing information between those jurisdictions. There's a $10,000 reward now that they released on Thursday last week. Sheriff says we're one tip away from catching him. One tip away. Could be you. I'm joined now exclusively by Rachel Morin's sister, Rebecca Morin, and the family's attorney, Randolph Rice. Rebecca, thank you so much for being with us tonight. First and foremost, I am so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry for what you and your family have had to go through. Have the police shared anything with you? Have they told you anything that sounds promising?
Nothing more than what everybody else already knows. We're just waiting for that one person to come forward and say they recognize him. But so far, nobody has done that I know of.
And is this extraordinarily frustrating? Do you feel you're getting everything you need from the investigators?
That I can't really answer. Because, like I said, I mean, there's only so much they can do. Somebody needs to come forward. Somebody has to say something. Sorry.
I understand. Well, we'll show the pictures again. That's the man that they're looking for. If you're watching right now, take a very close look at everything about him, the way he walks. Sometimes it's the way a suspect walks that is the tip that comes in, not necessarily the description of the person, but the way they walk. And hopefully, Rebecca, that will be something that someone recognizes. How are Rachel's kids doing? She's a mother of 5. How are the kids?
As can be expected. Sad, angry, don't really understand. They really love their mother. They pray for her to come back. So it's been really hard on all of them.
What have you been able to share with them? What have you told them?
Yeah, this is, like I said, it really is heartbreaking to hear about any of this stuff. Especially, it's 5 kids that don't have their mama. You know what I mean? It's 5 of them that don't have their mama. Okay. Real quick, on X, it says Rachel Morin, suspect arrested, Maryland press conference. Where is that? Who is posting that? Not that Nina. I'm quite curious about that too, so I can find it as well, because this is the one thing I hate about these press conferences. You'd think that they would just go straight to the news. You know what I mean? Yeah, the press conference is definitely going to be in Maryland because, the Harford County Sheriff's Office is in Maryland. So, of course, they're going to have the press conference in Maryland. That's where the crime was committed, right? I don't think that they went on the run, after him to obtain him in Oklahoma. I don't think that. Okay. Yes, he was just so everybody understands, if everybody's getting that mixed up, she lost her life in Maryland. This monster went on the run and he was arrested in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, where they have the press conference, I don't know. The press conference may be in Maryland, in the area or the same state in which this crime was committed. He was arrested because he ran off and he's been traveling. Remember, he was out in Cali. He committed a crime in Cali 5 months before he ran into Rachel in Maryland. So he traveled from California to Maryland, did this unthinkable act to Rachel, and then ran off. He ran off, I think, he traveled around, and then he went down to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that's where he was actually arrested. Again, she lost her life in Maryland. The crime was committed in Maryland, and then he ran off, and he was caught in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So I want to make that abundantly clear. I think we're clear now, right? I mean, I just read an article that literally just said all that. Okay? Crime done in Maryland. He ran off. He was arrested in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay. But yes, he didn't just jump a state or two. Yeah. But that's the thing, though. He's been missing. They've been trying to follow and find him for the past 9, 10 months since the crime was committed. He's just been hopping around, right? It's pretty crazy, right? Pretty crazy stuff. Hold on, guys. I'm going to check. Somebody just said, try WJZ News. One second, guys. But again, it's crazy how much he moved around, right? It's crazy how much he moved around. So, 1 second, guys. WJZ News. But I'm going to play this a little bit while I get this thing figured out here real quick.
They know that she's gone. We haven't given them any details, except for the older ones. We plan on keeping like that for a little while till they're old enough to understand, and hopefully it won't be too much longer before they have the person that did this. That is what we want the most, because, like the sheriff said, this guy is going to do it again. It could be, your sister, your mother, your daughter. And that's what people don't get. I don't understand why no one's come forward. To me, it's obvious that somebody recognizes this guy. They have to. It's like I could see him move and know, if this was somebody I knew, I would know who it was. So I'm really hoping that somebody comes forward soon. Somebody is brave enough to do that, to do what's right.
We'll continue to show the pictures that the sheriffs released of him leaving the scene of that home invasion where a young girl was assaulted. And as we show the pictures, just remember, just look at every part of it, every detail, the small of his back, the curve of his shoulders, the slouch that he has, that haircut from August 17th. Again, that's a haircut from a couple of weeks ago. That could have grown in by now. The tightness of his jeans, that's a style that some people wear and a lot of other people don't wear. Everything about that, holding the clothing that he's walking out of the house. Rebecca, who's looking after Rachel's kids?
Look at this. 5'9", 230 pounds. Damn. Quite the opposite, right? Quite the opposite of what they actually ended up catching, right? And of course, if he's running around and all that and not eating much, yeah, you could drop some serious pounds. If you're running around just trying to, you know what I mean? But still, nonetheless, I mean, the press conference hasn't happened yet because I'm looking at some other content creators, and they're all kind of waiting. They're all kind of patiently waiting, for something for this as well. But I am checking a few more other places. Like I said, I hate that they don't just put it all in one spot. I know some will hop on and just do something on another, on like Facebook or something like that. You know what I mean? And that stuff is just annoying, right? Yeah, we're just waiting. WJZ News. Let me see here. Try something else. Just pulling up trying to pull up some stuff. But like I said, of course they got one thing right, that he's around 5'9", 5'8", 5'9", right? And I mean, look, it's just crazy, right? All of this is pretty nuts and heartbreaking to see nonetheless, right? And now, of course, we are now hopefully closing a chapter in this particular case for Rachel Morin and her family. I mean, let's not forget, this is the culprit, that this is the information and this is the only footage that we had out here for all of us to see. I mean, imagine that. This is the stuff that we saw for a minute. Okay? And that's terrible. One second, guys. I'm just pulling up stuff. Yeah, it looks like everybody's waiting. Everybody's waiting for info. Yeah, everybody's waiting for the press conference. Like, I just want to show you what I mean. Like, I'm on WJZ News right now. Hold on. I'm just trying to get the quality a little bit better. Just a little bit better. Well, I guess that's as good as it. Oh, there we go. Much better. So, I mean, this is what we're looking at here, too. All right.
700-foot wide and 50-foot deep channel. The focus now turns to rebuilding the bridge. The MBTA is currently taking project proposals with the goal to open the new Key Bridge by 2028. Well, if you'll be out and about this weekend, we've got some good news for you at the pump. Gas prices are cheaper than last summer at a far stretch from where they peaked 2 years ago. AAA
Yay.
says the
Okay.
national average for
So-
regular gas stood at $3.50 a gallon.
So, as you can see, you know what I mean? Ooh, we got something else. Hold on. Possibly. Let me see. Really? Wow. Is this really the dude? I mean, okay, first off, let me just say this first. I don't know if this is the guy. This is really the dude? Hold on. Oh my Lord. I don't know. This is not at all what I expected. Hold on. Yeah, this is. Hold on. Let me. This gives me great pause because I don't want to put somebody else. Okay. You're watching on another channel and it's live. Here we go. Here we go.
Public Relations for the Harford County Sheriff's Office. I thank each of you for joining us today as Sheriff Gaylor announces long-awaited and much-anticipated updates in the murder investigation of Rachel Morin. Standing and offering remarks with the sheriff are Bill DeBagno, Special Agent in Charge, FBI, Baltimore Field Office. Evan Campanella, Assistant Special Agent in Charge, HSI, Baltimore Field Office. Allison Healy, Harford County State's Attorney.
Don't know why it's choppy, but
Are Colonel William Davis, Chief Deputy, Harford County Sheriff's Office. Sergeant Christopher Maddox, Criminal Investigations Division, Harford County Sheriff's Office. David Hughes, Deputy Chief, Bel Air Police Department. John Cook, Chief of Staff, Washington, Baltimore, HIDA. Patrick Vincenti, President of the Harford County Council, and members of Rachel's family. After Ms. Healy concludes her remarks, Patty Morin, Rachel's mom, will offer a few remarks as well. She will not be taking questions today. We know that you have many questions for all of us. Please keep in mind that we will try to answer as many as we can, but this investigation is still ongoing, and there are some details we cannot discuss at this time. Again, thank you for joining us, taking your time and dedication to telling Rachel's story. And with that, Sheriff Gaylor.
Thanks, Christy. Good afternoon, everybody. As Christy said, I'm Harford County Sheriff Jeff Gaylor. As everyone's aware, on August 6, 2023, our peaceful Harford County community was rocked when the body of Rachel Morin was discovered in an area just about a mile from here, just off the Mampa hiking trail here just outside the town of Bel Air. In addition to the impact to our local Harford County community, Rachel's murder gained national and even international attention. The young mother of 5, whose life was violently taken in a public location, is one that is one of the safest places in the state. It's not supposed to happen, and it shouldn't have happened. In the days and months since Rachel was murdered, Rachel's family and friends, our Harford County community, and the men and women of the Harford County Sheriff's Office, along with all of our allied partners, have worked tirelessly to bring the individual responsible for her death to justice. Our deputies and our partners have worked this case with persistence and passion for Rachel and for her family every day over the past 10 months. Just over 3 weeks ago, on May 20th, on what should have been Rachel's 38th birthday,
Oh, wow.
a poetic coincidence, or perhaps in Rachel's own divine assistance, our investigators uncovered a lead that led us to this day. And on this day, I'm here to tell you Rachel's murderer is no longer a free man. Hopefully, he will never have the opportunity to walk free again. The lead we received was related to DNA evidence and allowed investigators to finally put a name to the image of the suspect in the video from Los Angeles, which we released 2 weeks after Rachel's death. After we had the video, we knew what he looked like. We knew what he looked like, but we didn't know who he was. With the new DNA evidence, now we know who he is, but we still didn't know where he was. As I have stated many times, this killer could have been laying his head in any community in the country or even in the world, and indeed, that was completely accurate. Over the past 2 weeks, investigators continued their diligent investigation and tracked our suspect all the way from Prince George's County to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Our investigators also obtained an arrest warrant yesterday afternoon, and as the arrest warrant was being issued, we met with Rachel's family, many of whom are with us today, to update them on the case and asked of them an almost impossible request. And that was to keep the information about the identity and the arrest warrant to themselves and protected, to allow investigators the opportunity to try to apprehend this suspect before it was made public in the news, so that our suspect did not have the opportunity to learn that he was wanted and to once again flee. 5 hours after meeting with the family, and just before midnight our time, police in Tulsa, Oklahoma, assisted by our federal partners, located and arrested Rachel's murderer, Victor Antonio Martinez Hernandez. So far, we have learned that the suspect, now pictured on the screens, is a 23-year-old citizen of El Salvador who illegally crossed the border into the United States in February of 2023. We all suspected that perhaps Rachel was not his first victim. And it's my understanding that this suspect, this monster, fled to the United States illegally after committing the brutal murder of a young woman in El Salvador a month early in January of 2023. Once in our country, and likely emboldened by his anonymity, he brutally attacked a 9-year-old girl and her mother during a home invasion in March of 2023 in Los Angeles. And as everyone, I believe, is aware, that was our first DNA match linking Rachel's case to the Los Angeles case.
He's trash.
That once we identified this suspect, the result would be exactly this. And I want to now direct these comments to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and to every member in both chambers of Congress. We are 1,800 miles away here in Harford County. We are 1,800 miles away from the southern border, and the American citizens are not safe because of failed immigration policies. This is the second time in just 2 years that an innocent Harford County woman has lost her life to a criminal in our country illegally. Let me repeat that. 1,800 miles from the southern border, and this is the second woman in our county to be killed by an illegal alien. Suspects, in both cases, they are suspects from El Salvador with ties to criminal gangs. Should not be happening. Victor Hernandez did not come here to make a better life for himself or for his family. He came here to escape the crime he committed in El Salvador. He came here and murdered Rachel, and God willing, no one else. but that should have never been allowed to happen. Moving on, I want to make it clear that this case does not get solved, and we do not bring this criminal to justice without the amazing law enforcement teamwork from our local, state, and federal partners. And I mean that in all sincerity. Rachel's homicide does not get solved. There is no arrest without all of us working together. And for that, I want to thank everyone here in the front of the room and all those who aren't here, but I'm going to cover a list in a minute. I want to thank all of them for their assistance to our agency over the past 10 months. We are profoundly grateful for your dedication and support. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, especially the Baltimore Field Office, rendered invaluable assistance throughout the course of the investigation. Similarly, the State Police, Maryland State Police Crime Laboratory contributed greatly with their expertise and resources. I must also say thank you to the Los Angeles Police Department, the Department of Homeland Security, Naval Criminal Investigative Services, the Maryland State Police Bel Air Barrack, the U.S. Marshal Service Fugitive Task Force, the Harford County State's Attorney's Office, the Maryland Department of Natural Resources Police, the Bel Air Police Department, Maryland Coordination and Analysis Center, the Baltimore Washington HIDA, the Tulsa, Oklahoma Police Department, El Salvadorian authorities, and the many law enforcement agencies, both state and local, who provided invaluable assistance to the Harford County Sheriff's Office during this investigation. As I think is evident, this was truly a comprehensive law enforcement effort, and I am exceptionally proud of the work done by the collective team and countless others who made last night's arrest in Tulsa possible. I also want to thank the members of our Harford County community for their patience, support, and cooperation throughout this investigation, to include hundreds upon hundreds of tips that our investigators have received. Today, we were able to provide what some like to refer to as closure to Rachel's family and for our Harford County community. I want to thank the members of the Morin family, and you're going to hear from, as Christy said, from Patricia here in a minute, but no questions. They have been by the side of our detectives this entire time, doing anything that they could do to help the investigation and to help our detectives, to help bring this individual that took Rachel's life to justice. I recognize there is nothing that will ever close the door or bring true closure concerning the loss of Rachel, but it is my hope and the hope of all involved working this case that the arrest of this suspect brings her family and our Harford County community some peace. I would like to now ask FBI Baltimore Field Office Special Agent in Charge, William DeBano, did I get it right? DeBano, to offer a few remarks.
They showed his face, guys.
Sheriff Gaylor. Good afternoon. My name is Bill Del Bagno. I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI Baltimore Field Office. Today, our focus remains on Rachel, bringing justice for her, finding answers for her family and loved ones, and making sure the violent criminal who so viciously took her life cannot harm anyone else. The FBI is proud to stand united with our partners in the Harford County Sheriff's Office as we announce this arrest. We know nothing can take away the pain and the anguish Rachel's family and friends have endured. Please know, on behalf of the FBI, our hearts are with you. To the public, keeping our community safe is one of the FBI's highest priorities, and so are the invaluable partnerships required to accomplish this. During the investigation, here's what I can share from the FBI. Our investigative genetic genealogy team in Baltimore worked countless hours to identify the suspect by using crime scene DNA and tracing that DNA to potential family members. Investigators even traveled to El Salvador as part of their efforts to identify this killer. To find the suspect, we provided technical assistance, helping to pinpoint his location. And that brings us to last night, where Tulsa police and FBI agents were able to successfully apprehend and arrest the suspect in Oklahoma. Hartford County and the investigators on this case worked every angle tirelessly and constantly, never giving up and following every lead and piece of evidence. We thank Hartford County for their partnership and bringing us into the investigation. As Sheriff Gaylor outlined, we thank everyone who helped make this arrest possible. To all those who have been waiting for an arrest to be made, for answers, we hope this brings a sense of justice and some peace. The FBI vows to continue to work every day to keep our community safe and prioritize the partnerships so vital to doing that. Thank you. I will now turn it over to Evan Campanella, the Deputy Special Agent in Charge, HSI, Baltimore.
Thank you, Sec Del Bagno. First off, I would like to thank Sheriff Gaylor for having HSI present for today's announcement. Today's announcement is the culmination of almost 1 year of investigative activity that might not always go noticed by the public. This investigation highlights the cooperation and the collaboration HSI has with its state and local and federal partners. And I'm happy to be here today with Sheriff Gaylor and our partners to announce the arrest of Mr. Martinez Hernandez. I hope that today's announcement, as the sheriff pointed out, will help bring some closure to Rachel's family. And again, I would like to thank Sheriff Gaylor for asking HSI to participate in this investigation and to be here for today's announcement. I would now like to invite Hartford County State's Attorney, Allison Healy, to the podium for her remarks.
Good afternoon. I want to commend the Hartford County Sheriff's Office and other assisting agencies on the hard work, expertise, and diligence identifying and apprehending the suspect in the murder of Rachel Morin. They worked tirelessly on this lengthy and difficult investigation for the public safety of our community and bringing Rachel's family peace, knowing that the next step is prosecution. I will personally be leading the prosecution of this case. While the defendant is innocent until and unless he is proven guilty, Hartford County and our neighboring communities can rest assured that my office will take all steps necessary to ensure that justice is served for Rachel Morin and her family. We have already begun coordinating with the Warrant Apprehension Unit of the Hartford County Sheriff's Office to handle the extradition of the defendant to Hartford County. And once the defendant has been transported back to Hartford County, prosecution will commence. Thank you. It is my pleasure to introduce to you all Patricia Morin.
I'm going to make this really short because I'm very emotional. I just want to take this time to thank all of the law enforcement for all their hard work. I know that a lot of times we don't see what goes on behind the scenes. You know, you see the policeman in the car when you write you a ticket, but you don't see the real work that happens behind. And around Christmas time, we did a canvassing with Hartford County, thank you. And they brought us into a room and I could see all the people that were involved. And that's not even all the external agencies that were involved. And it just gave me such hope that they really did care about our family and my daughter, that they were going to work diligently to find the person that murdered her. At one point, when things seemed like really bleak and hopeless, the lead detective said to me, he said, patience will win in the end. And that's what they've been doing. They've been diligently working very hard, and they've been patiently working through all the leads. And it's because of that that we have an arrest today. So I'm very thankful and just very grateful to these men. And I'm also very grateful to the press because you kept her story alive so that people would still continue to send in tips. And that helped them to do their job. So I want to thank the press as well. But I don't know if this is, oops, sorry about that.
You're
I don't know if this is kosher or not. I'm going to step away from the pulpit. But I think we should applaud them just because I am so grateful that they have brought us to this place. Because at some of the points during this, I didn't think that we were ever going to have an end, that it was going to be a cold case. So I would like to applaud them.
Thank you. And this case that touched us all. So with that, we are going to take some questions. As Christy said, this is still an active investigation. So there's some things that we're not free to speak about or won't be speaking about. So with that, does anybody have any questions that we can answer for any of the speakers?
I have a question. I want to know if you can, and I know we kind of went into it a little bit, but what actually happens with him right now? I feel like we read an ICE hold. I don't know if you're familiar with that term or if you can kind of educate me on it.
I'm very familiar with ICE detainers.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure.
Yes,
If you can kind of
we are
what's the status with that?
there has been an ICE detainer filed on him because he is in this country illegally out in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He would not be deported before answering for these charges. So I honestly believe that's the last place he wants to go. I think, a sad statement is our jails are better here than they are in El Salvador. And he's going to spend, God willing, the rest of his days behind bars.
How was he able to get around from El Salvador to LA to here to PG County, apparently Tulsa?
Investigators are still working. I mean, he worked a few odd jobs that we are familiar with. Did not live a very, expensive lifestyle. But this is a free country. You can, once you're in it, you can move from one jurisdiction to the next, very freely. And he did that from El Salvador into the United States to Los Angeles, unfortunately here to Harford County. And again, down in Prince George's County, we had him in the Virginia area, and then all the way out to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And in the year he's been in the country, a little year plus, who knows where else he's been. And it's a fear of mine. It's a fear of our investigators. And as Patty said, our investigators took this case to heart, as they do all the cases. But this case, they took to heart, and they worked so hard and have an emotional tie to it that I got off on a tangent. That they, I lost my train of thought.
Does he have connections to any of these areas? Family?
Investigators are working that. We certainly know he has connections down in the D.C. area, both Virginia and Prince George's County. But again, as he moved around the country, there were places that we believe he probably had associates, and he has ties to known gangs. So we believe that's how he lived his life.
You mentioned a few. How many total crimes or victims are police aware that this man committed?
That's where I was going before. We fear all the time, the investigators fear that we're going to stumble across another crime that just hasn't been tied back through DNA or some other science or electronic, tie, that the evidence just hasn't reached the point where we get a hit. But right now, what we're familiar with is the crime in Los Angeles, the home invasion in March of 2023, the homicide here of Rachel in August of 2023. And I believe in Tulsa, he's facing some local charges as well for last night. I think trespassing or disorderly or something to that effect. We're not familiar with any other. I'm not familiar with any other charges.
El Salvador.
Oh, in El Salvador, there is a what's it called, a red notice. A red notice, which is basically an Interpol warrant for his arrest to bring him back there to stand for the homicide of the woman in that case down there.
Dang.
Collaboration with the El Salvadorian authorities. How did you all deal with that?
Well, and I gotta defer to our partners at the FBI on that one because they did most of the international.
Thanks, Sheriff. So the FBI has personnel that are positioned throughout the world. They're called legal attaches. We have a legal attache that is in El Salvador. As we were conducting some of the investigative actions along with Harford County. The some of the investigative information took us to El Salvador and working with our partners there in order to understand some of the familial ties that that are down there, and also bring together back a better understanding of the red notice that Sheriff Gaylor brought up as well.
Do you know anything about the victim in El Salvador? Is that someone he knew, or was it random?
I don't have any information on it.
Can you go to detail how he was arrested in Tulsa? Was it
Yes. How did you get him?
It was about, I don't know how many hours they're behind, 2, 3, Tulsa. So it was midnight our time, and he was hanging out at a business park or a storefront, and the police encountered him, and apparently there's a charge of, you say trespassing, and he was identified during that arrest and processing.
Wow.
Well, and that's been a question since the outset. You know, was Rachel's homicide random or targeted? And again, I don't know that we have that answer explicitly or completely. But at this point, there's nothing to indicate that anyone other than him was involved. We do have some belief that he spent some time here in the Bel Air area, so he may have seen her in her more or less routine operations. One of the things that we caution people, particularly women on the trail, about doing was developing a routine where it can be predicted where you might be. That would be my suspicion. If he decides to talk throughout the course of the days ahead to either investigators or prosecutors as it moves to that stage, we may learn more about, was it just an opportunity because he was on the trail when, you know, unfortunately she decided to go out exercising that day, or was it something more specific? As to the motive, you know, we've been tight-lipped, I guess, about it. The charges in the case are first-degree murder and first-degree rape. And as the colonel just reminded me to say, we do have right now in the air, we have sent investigators to Tulsa, Oklahoma, to follow up on many things related to this investigation. It's very active and ongoing, as I said. He will be extradited here eventually, and that will be done. That process has already been initiated, but it could take, as I understand, to the state's attorney, 10 to 30 days. 10 days if he doesn't fight it. 30 days if he decides to fight it, but he will be extradited. 30 to 60.
I want to ask about genetic genealogy, because that kind of sounds like it. Yeah, okay. I'm not really sure if we really hear of that so often with cases, like cracking cases, especially ones that you've been working so hard to figure out. So can you kind of just walk us through how that played a role? Seems pretty major.
Absolutely. So I think a lot of folks know genetic genealogy or investigative genetic genealogy in some of the cold cases, and certainly has gotten a lot of attention from the Golden State Killer, and since then a lot of
Idaho 4.
Side. I think folks should also know that we prioritize the violent crime cases that are current, and that this is an game-changing investigative tool to understand when there are dry holes and there's no other leads to go, that we can apply the investigative genealogy to identify potentially family members, and then in doing that, take it on to a step where Harford County and our partners can conduct interviews to better understand who the potential subjects are and narrow down that scope. We also use it on, unfortunately, the victim side, when we can't identify a victim through any other means, and building out the cases that way. We've seen over time 130 cases thus far since 2018 that have had successfully used investigative genetic genealogy.
If he was undocumented, how was he identified during the traffic stop?
There's no traffic. There's no traffic stuff. Well, he was encountered by the police and the agents for the FBI who were out there looking for him. So they had an idea of where he was. But I know that from that encounter, there's also a local charge of trespassing, not in a vehicle. He was apparently at that business, I guess, unwantedly so. He was. We already had the name. We had the arrest warrant. So when they encountered him, they knew he was wanted. So he was picked up for that. Yeah.
With the home invasion in California, will he be taken in charge there? Does this take precedent? How does?
Oh, certainly, this is the more serious, the loss of life. California will follow up on their investigation. They would have to direct questions to that police, it's LAPD, that is handling that as far as specifics to their investigation. But certainly, we have been in communication. Our investigators have been in communication with theirs. They are aware that we identified the suspect here, and by identifying our suspect, we have their suspect, they have their suspect, and they can move forward on charges. They would also file an arrest warrant on file. So, I never want him to leave Maryland again. I want him to die in the Maryland jail, Maryland prison.
Oh, wow.
We don't have the death penalty. So I just hope he spends the rest of his days there. But if he ever got out of this one, he would be sent extradited to California. And if he got out of that one, there's still the red folder, the red notice, where El Salvador will want him back, and ICE has marked him for detainer. So he would go back there to face those charges.
Does he speak English?
I do not know. No. I see the major in the back is shaking his head. No, he does not. And again, we shared the picture. You all will have the picture. It's going to be, no doubt out there on social media. So we're still looking for information. He was in this area for at least some period of time. And when I say the area, he was in the Bel Air area for some period of time before or right after the homicide, or both. So if people still have information, and now that there's a name to put with the face, investigators still want to talk to you. We still want to know. We still want to build that timeline, because there's a case to prosecute, and we want to put all the pieces together so that Miss Healy can do her job most successfully, and again, ensure this guy never sees the light of day.
Did you ever have any contact with police before this in Bel Air?
Not that we're familiar with.
Thank you.
Thank you all, and again, thank our partners. To have Rachel's family here means so much to not me. I mean, to me, of course, but to the investigators who work this case tirelessly. I appreciate that, and I appreciate all of our federal, state, and local partners. So with that, thank you.
I have one bit of housekeeping for everyone too. We made a decision earlier today that we are not going to share the suspect's photo on our social media. It was here. If you have, if you would like a copy of the flyer, you can send an email to media@hartfordsheriff.org, and I will send it to you if you would like to use it in your newscast, but we will not share his picture on any of our social media. Any other questions? All right. Thank you again.
Bingo, bango. And there you have it, y'all. I want to share with you guys. This is the photo, one of the photos. One of you guys send it to me. I do appreciate you guys sending this to me. Regardless, I just didn't know. I was like, is it really him or not? Because I mean, sometimes people tend to send, photos out here, and it may not be completely accurate. You know what I mean? Or you put some innocent guy's face up there and it's not really his, blah blah blah. But this is the guy. Like I was telling you guys before we went before the press conference. I mean, let's be real. This is not at all what I expected as far as what he looks like. Hold on. This is what I mean. Take a look at this guy. Does that look like this guy? Hold on, I'll do that one more time. this guy? Does it look like this guy? Not one mother loving bit. But the other part that I find to be interesting, hold on, I'm just trying to close this out so it's not blasting in my ear. The other thing that I find interesting about this is even so, his physique is very deceiving as well. Rock with me for a second. Take a look at this. Like, you see this, I mean, from this, it's just a headshot, right? It's just a photo. He looks hella skinny, in my personal opinion. Then you look at this photo, the security cam footage. This does not at all look like what I expected. This does not look like the photo we just saw a second ago. This does not look, hold on, like that. Like not one bit. Look at this. Look at this. This guy looks like he does a little bit of CrossFit, you know, do some push-ups and pull-ups, you know. He's seen the inside of a gym. Then you look at this mother lover. Does he look like he plays games? He plays video games. That he's never seen the gym ever. Now, I don't know when this photo was taken. I will be honest. I don't know when this photo was taken. This could have been taken years ago. This could just be a very old photo of him and whatnot. But at the same time, just seems a bit interesting, right? Because he looks like he's, you know what I mean? But he still has that fade, though. Look at the fade on the side. And then look at the photo again. Or the ring cam. That's crazy, though, right? That's crazy. I did not expect this guy to be this guy. This trash, this monster to look like this. I was expecting more a guy like this. But at the same time, I mean, that's his DNA and all that stuff. So, I mean, I'm not sitting here saying that he is that this is not the guy. No, I think they really did get their guy. Let's be real. Okay? Let's keep it a buck. They definitely, I think, got this guy. But at the same time, though, very interesting. You know, it's very deceiving, for lack of a better term. I just, honestly did not expect him to look like this at all. But this little piece of trash creepazoid was literally, and we got to go through some of these bullets here, guys. But one, it was a home invasion in California in March of 2023. Then, of course, he is connected to the unaliving, to the M, to the tragedy of Rachel Morin. Then, and so that home invasion in March in California is exactly this one right here. Okay. This is the ring cam from that home invasion that he did in 2023 in March, 5 months before he ran into mother of five, Rachel Morin, out in the park on the Ma and Pa Trail. Okay. So 5 months later, ran into her on August 5th. Then let's go all the way down to like 9-10 months later. Fast forward. And he gets caught and arrested for trespassing because he was hanging out at a business. He was hanging outside a business. Now, ain't that something? So he randomly just got caught loitering around a business. And that's how they were able to bring him in and detain his butt. That's very interesting, guys. Now, of course, they say they have an ICE detainer on Victor, because this is the other part that I thought was interesting, and this is the moment I was like, "Whoa!" You know, the dun dun dun. They had, apparently there was a red notice out on Victor, and no, it's not the Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie. Apparently, that is a real thing. Interpol had basically a red notice on Victor Antonio Martinez Hernandez from El Salvador, because of crimes that he committed beyond the border, which is also very interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, everybody be kind in the chat. I don't know why everybody's tripping in the chat. I already know. As soon as that sheriff went on the mic and started going down the political route, I was like, oh no, here we go. Here we go now. Here we go. So everybody chill. Everybody be kind to each other in the chat, okay? Everybody be kind, all right? Let's be real. This monster did what he did. There are monsters of all kinds. We are talking about people like Brian Koberger, Rex Heuermann. I mean, we have covered so many cases, okay, of all kinds. So let's just stay focused. But as soon as I heard him say that, get on the mic, I was like, I already know where this is going to go. I'm already seeing Lincoln Riley type of situation all over again. They're going to be using Rachel Morin's name and face for some sort of political gain. Just saying it out loud. But as soon as he said that, I was like, damn, they're going to scoop up this name and they're going to shove it out here and they're going to try to use this to turn it into something for 2024. That's instantly, I was like, is that what they're going to do? Because that's what I feel like the route it's going down. As soon as he said that, I was like, oh, why did you say that? Why can't you just stay with the facts? Tell us what's going on. Don't put any political statements or anything of that sort, because there are so many bad things that are going on inside this country and outside of this country that we need to address as well. It's not only just that, guys. It's not only just the border. There's so much more, okay? Many people are losing their lives inside by other American citizens as well. I just want to point that out, okay? Before everybody gets upset and angry. But it is true. Yes, this is an issue. This is not good that he's an illegal in America doing this thing. Absolutely. And justice needs to be brought. But I'm like, damn, they're going to use her name and it's going to be like that. And I'm like, man, it doesn't really need to be like that. But watch it be like that. Unfortunately. All right. So let's get back into the facts, okay, that they gave us. One of the other things that I thought was very interesting, because it's like, with what happened to Lakin. Actually, I as soon as they started talking about it, I was like, I'm already feeling it. I'm already seeing them doing this with what they did with Lakin. The same thing. And her story is an absolute tragedy as well. Let's be real. Okay. She was a college student. She was on a morning run, just like Rachel. Okay. On a morning run, and she lost her life. As soon as everyone found out that this person was an illegal, the world went nuts. Her name turned into basically a catalyst for some political agenda. And I'm going, well, what about getting justice for this young woman first before we spin it into something political? I just say, hey, everybody, I get it. But just time out for a second. Let's get justice for these women. And then let the politicals do their political ish, fight it out and figure it out for themselves. But they are using these as, I don't know. But like I said, Lakin Riley, same situation. She was on a run. She lost her life. This man savagely did terrible things to her, and she lost her life. He was also an illegal. Okay, let's be real. And then it got spun into something. And instead of it being justice for her, it turned into something else. which of course, like I said, is a conversation that still needs to be had and it still needs to be figured out. But at the same time, her name got turned into something else instead of actually finding out if she actually got the full justice that she rightfully deserves. So I see this in the same thing with Rachel, and it's like, let's get the justice. Okay? Let's get the justice for these women, right? So, of course, we already know. Let's address the elephant in the room. All right? He is an illegal. His name, actually, let me pull her down, okay? May she rest in peace. All right. And I'm hoping she's getting the justice that she rightfully deserves. And they were quick. They were able to quickly solve that case, find the culprit, find that monster, and bring that monster to justice quickly. And yes, he was illegal. Okay. So now we're looking at this individual. His name is Victor Antonio Martinez Hernandez. If I'm correct, he's about 23. In the early 20s, 5'8", 160 pounds, as you can see. He is the one who got caught because he's the one who took the life of Rachel Morin on August 5th while she was on a run on the Ma and Pa Trail. Now, what's interesting is, and he said some facts here, the sheriff, that this crime was committed 1,800 miles away from the border. That is a big thing. I also want to mention, too, this guy had time to travel. Remember, in March of 2023, he did a home invasion in California. March of 2023. Then he was in Maryland 5 months later and then took the life of Rachel Morin. Did something even more barbaric, more horrific, taking the life of a woman, taking a life of a person 5 months later in Maryland. Then this dumbass somehow gets caught. Thank God he got caught for being a dumb criminal, clearly, because he was caught trespassing at a business. What was he doing in this business? What was he doing in the area of this business? That's what I'd like to know. Was he trying to break in? Was he sleeping in that area? Was he sleeping in that area trying to find shelter? Because you got to remember, he's been kicking rocks. He was on the West Coast, then he was in Maryland, and then now he's in Oklahoma. So he's been trucking around. Could he have been sleeping on a bench, sleeping outside underneath the awning of a business, and they said, yo, you're trespassing. Sorry, brother, we got to take you in. And then when they were able to take him in, they realized that he was connected to something. I don't know. But how did they connect him to this that quickly? I got questions, right? The other thing, too, is, which I thought was dope, FBI got involved. They were able to use genetic genealogy. Let me just say something about this genetic genealogy-ish that they've been doing lately. Yo, this is a thing that all you monsters out there and all you future monsters out there should be absolutely terrified about, because they were able to take that DNA that they received, put it into the genetic genealogy, and connect it to somebody connected to him. That's wild, y'all. That's amazing. Just to completely keep it real with y'all, that is scary for all you monsters out there. I mean, for me, I'm like, yes, catch these monsters, please and thank you, right? And if this is how you need to do it, that's how you do it. Let's go, FBI. Genetic genealogy, science. You know that whole thing, right? If you watch Breaking Bad, science. Yeah, science, right? But that's how they were able to connect, to the point where they can travel all the way out to El Salvador to question family. So they already knew this dude. So as soon as he got arrested and he was getting put into that database, they got an alert. Boom, they got the guy. And like, we got him. He's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yay. Right? Genetic genealogy. And like I said, like the interviewer was saying, I'm like, how did they find him in Tulsa? And it was because he was hanging out at a business, chilling in the cut. And apparently he was trespassing late that night. Like I said, what was he doing? Was he about to do a B&E? Was he trying to break and enter? What was he trying to do? Why was he at this business? That's what I'd like to know as well. To me, I said that's some lazy-ish for him because he's been running around so much, and then suddenly he gets caught slipping because he was hanging outside a business? For real, though? That's how he got caught? Okay. 10 months later? Okay. All right, then. Thank you for being dumb. Congratulations. Thank you, Victor. Antonio Martinez Hernandez. Thank you so much from El Salvador. Thank you so much for being lazy. 10 months later, but hey, we still got you. We still got that age, right? And that's literally it. The other thing I also wrote down is I just said, and I keep saying this a lot, but I really do believe this. It does take a village. It most definitely takes a village to catch these monsters, to find these missing individuals. And they definitely did their work. But one of the things that definitely helped, for real, is science. Without DNA, without them running that through the genetic genealogy, we would all be still looking at this photo or this drawing, believing that this is the guy. And let me tell you, this most definitely is not him. They made him look kind of like, like Pitbull. And this right here is just Pitbull's like step little brother, like 3 times removed. You know what I'm saying? That just plays video games all day. Okay? This guy looks like he drinks beer and watches sports. This guy has a collection of Magic cards and has never kissed a girl. That's the kind of vibe I get from this. Okay? I'm just saying. Nonetheless, I'm very happy that they got this monster. And I agree with the sheriff. Let him rot in prison. Let this mother lover rot in prison. I mean, I said you said not the magic cards. I'm not trying to knock the magic cards, but we were just dealing with pig vomit. Okay? We were just dealing with pig vomit. And he liked them magic cards. And he definitely looked like he hasn't taken a shower in like 17 days. So I'm just saying, okay, just let me roast. Let me cook. Okay? Let me cook. But nonetheless, justice has been served. At least this chapter of this case has been closed. That drawing is not him. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I just have to show it one more time. Look, no. This is not, I mean, it's fine because you're just going off of memory, but look, babies. Come on, man. Okay? This to this. Clothes, but no cigar? I don't know, guys. Okay? Now, I'm just saying that out loud. All right? Just saying that out loud. Let me see here. Okay. So, anyway, guys. Like I said, this is some big information in my personal opinion. Because I know a lot of people have been wanting to know where this monster could have gone to. He traveled down to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I also am wondering if he was actually staying with family or if he was homeless and he was living off the street. You see what I'm saying? And then maybe that's why he was caught lingering or trespassing around this business. That could be it. He could have just been living off the fat of the land, living off the streets. That's a possibility, because it does make you wonder how he was able to go from California and then he went over to Maryland. What was he doing in Maryland? Why was he in Maryland? And then also, throughout this weird, west, east, and then down to the south area, I'm wondering what made him. What was his trail? What was his travel like? Because there's a good possibility that he may have had other victims during his travel between California to Maryland, and then Maryland all the way down to Oklahoma. There's a possibility that he could have done some really bad things on his travels. I'm quite curious about that, guys. Like I said, it just doesn't make any sense. And I don't know if Rachel is the only victim. There could be more. There possibly could be more. Also, I'm also wondering if he was the only person detained. Was he with somebody? Was he rolling solo dolo? Or did he have a friend? Is there a connection with that? Is there somebody else that could have been arrested with him as well? He may have just been all by himself, but you never know. Does he have the skloopity do? I don't know. It's kind of it's like a bouffant. I don't know what to call it. It's like a bouffant. You know what I mean? It's like a, it's a weird wavy thing going on. It's like the bouffant. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what to call it, but you know what I'm saying. All right, it's just That's the other thing too. Yes, gang affiliates. That's the other thing. Thank you so much. I forgot to say that there. That he is also tied to known gangs. So I'm wondering, which gangs are they? Which gangs are they? That's what I want to know too. Sarah said, typically you have to be trespassed from a business already to be arrested for trespassing. So maybe he's gone back to that place before, or maybe when he got caught, it was the second or third or fourth time that he's been at that business. But I'd like to know what that business was, right? Why? Right? Why would he keep going back to that business? Was it a gun shop? You know what I mean? Like I'm wondering what that business could be. Was it a place like a restaurant or some sort of like grocery store or something of that sort? I am quite curious as to what it is that if he was to go back there again, why he went there the second, third, or fourth time when he finally got caught. Something there must have been really taking his interest. And that could be food, that could be money, and that could also be weapons. You never know. All right. Well, let me grab this. Hollywood 2000, thank you so much for being a member for the past 29 months. Boom! Thank you so much. Such a sad case all around. Yes, I absolutely agree. I get it. I get there's going to be a lot of people upset about the fact that he's illegal and all that. But I think we should also be focusing and upset about the fact that there is evil like this still lurking on this planet. Doesn't matter. It's still terrible. And I think politics are going to politic, right? And I'm sure they're going to take this and they're going to run with it, and it's going to turn into something, deeper and more political here in just a minute. Watch. Okay. But the thing is I think we also got to remember that there is a family that is grieving right now that do not have their daughter. that do not have their mother anymore because she lost her life at the hands of that monster. And that monster, sure, he's from another country, but I want you to remember, evil wears many, many faces. Many. We cover so many different stories and cases of people who are either still out here lurking in the streets, lying to people's faces, saying they haven't done anything, that they're innocent, while their person is still missing or that person's still gone, right? That they're unalive, but they are swearing up and down that they have nothing to do with their unalivings, all that stuff. You got families and friends that are trusting of loved ones, lovers or husbands or spouses, acting like they're good people, but they're also taking disgusting, disturbing content with their littles, with their spouse or their girlfriend's littles, and then taking their lives in the middle of the night. We have plenty of stories. White, black, Puerto Rican, or Asian, it don't matter. Polka dotted, purple, yellow, brown, it don't matter. They are all doing evil things. They are all doing the same thing, which is taking people's lives before their prime, before they get an opportunity to see their lives flourish. And this is exactly the same thing that happened to this young woman right here. That monster rid those 5 children of a loving mother. That's what that monster did. And he did other things before that too, and I'm sure he did things after that too. And now he's about to see justice. Again, I want to remind you guys, evil wears many, many faces. Let's not forget that. And like I said, when it comes to being the political part of things, then we're going to politic. We're going to wax political, and that's fine. But for right now, let's talk about the fact that we just got a step closer to getting justice for this young woman, for her kids, and for her loved ones, her family members that still are missing her and grieving her death still to this day. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. It really means a lot. And I know we all have different opinions. We all sit in different places on the political spectrum. And I believe that's amazing. And that's more than okay. We have to be respectful in the chat. Okay? Because our conversations, yes, we can conversate these all day long, but at the same time, we got to see what they do, right? In regards to those cases. So I appreciate you guys for being here. It really does mean a lot. Please do me a favor. All right? And remember, evil wears so many faces, guys. So many. We cover so many of them. Oh, my Lord. Okay? So I ask you, please, hit that like button down below. In the name of justice for Rachel Morin, hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms, please and thank you. Do not forget, hit that follow button if you're watching on other platforms. I appreciate you guys being here and spending the time this Saturday morning in this breaking news with me. I do. It really does mean a lot. So please be sure to hit that follow button, okay? On those other platforms, Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram. Also crush that subscribe button on my YouTube channel. And if you want to support the channel, I appreciate it by hitting that join button down below, becoming a member of the family. And also don't forget, go check out my Patreon. We're starting to have some really great discussions over there with all the members and all that. Go over patreon.com/the Pascal Show. It's in the ticker right there. Going off, and then it's going to be right over here. Bam, right there again. Okay, guys. But anyway, it is time to get going. I want to say this too really quick. Happy Father's Day. If I don't see you guys tomorrow, And by the way, there's been a lot of crazy breaking news stuff as of like the past 2 weeks. Like, damn. And hey, I'm here for it. I'm here for justice. I'm here for truth and transparency, just like everybody else that's watching this show right here. But I want to say happiest of Father's Day to every single last one of y'all who got little ones running around, even you stepdaddies out here. Let me keep it real. Y'all holding it down too. The good stepdaddies. You know who you are, okay? And you mamas that are wearing the daddy hat too. Shout out to you guys, because you guys are fire as well. Because without you guys balancing that thing out, I don't know, without you guys doing that, I don't know. Your kids would go crazy probably. All right. So thank you so much for holding it down and keep it going, because the kids need the love no matter what. Cherish these moments. Love your kids. Kiss them up beautifully. Kiss them a million times. Okay. Without it being weird. Okay. We cover way too much stuff on this show. But just have a great, happy Father's Day. All right, guys. Every single last one of y'all. All right. And all I ask is, rub your man's toes, for like his feet, for a second. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm sure they smell like Doritos and Cheetos. Okay. Cat food and ass all mixed into one, but still just pressure points on the feet. You know what I mean? Just for 5 seconds, not the whole time, just 5 seconds. Just a little bit of appreciate you, honey. You're working hard out here. Happy Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? Just do something nice. Okay. No ties and socks. Hold on. No ties and mother loving socks. That's all I ask from every single last one of you. I'm doing this on behalf of the daddies, okay? On behalf of the daddies. No socks and no ties. That's all I'm asking. A foot rub every once in a while. Anyway, guys, hit that like button. Don't forget to crush that subscribe button. All right. Much love to you guys. If I don't see you guys tomorrow, happy Father's Day to every single last one of y'all. Fellas, keep kicking butt. You know who I'm talking to. You know the drill. Keep it up. And if you don't get a foot rub, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But I'll be talking to you guys soon. Much love to you guys. Justice. Finally, we're on that paved way. On that path towards justice for Rachel. I'll be talking to you guys soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Talk to you guys soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.